Took a few days off from shooting a little live action. Back in here today. Took the weekend off from being in here. Triceps. Okay, so ladies, I know most of y'all, this is an area that we love to hate. Okay, triceps is that dude. Back of the arm, horseshoe. We got 3 heads to the triceps group. This tends to be an area that gets a little flabby for the average person, and the reason being we don't really train the triceps in everyday movements. Biceps we do, I think more so because we pick things up and pull them to us and whatever, but we're not really doing a lot of like elbow extension in everyday life.
People don't take their babies and go.
Yeah, you're not taking Junior and going boop, 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 picking him up out the collar. So yeah, so it makes sense to know that if you do start training your triceps on a regular basis, they should respond by getting tighter. Okay, I hate the word toning, but you're increasing the muscle tone. It is what it is. So what I want to do today is just show y'all some exercises that you can do there at home, maybe with a little bit different equipment than I have in here. But I'm just going to show kind of a variety of things and talk about different tweaks and whatnot. So let's get to it.
Yay.
Okay, so let's talk push-ups first. And I know I did a push-up video.
Hey, Carla.
What's up? Like 2 weeks ago, I guess my first live video was push-ups. So let's move this stuff around right here.
I'm going to get on this side.
I'm going to show y'all how you can do basically, okay, so with normal push-up hand position, regardless of if you're doing it on the floor or if you're elevating your hands on a table or a box or a countertop or a barbell in the rack like I like to do in here, a normal push-up position is going to be hands outside shoulders, okay? That's just a standard kind of setup. When we move the hands closer, it becomes more of an emphasis on the triceps, okay? So that's a way that you can tweak the basic push-up. So we could do a close grip push-up.
Hi, Russ.
Do what?
I said, hey, Russ.
Oh, what's up, Russ? So close grip push-up would be anything that's in, towards the shoulders a little bit more. So typically, I like to set it up just hands in line with the shoulder itself. So if we're using a box, we're pulling the chest towards the edge of the box and pressing up. If we're on the floor, it's basically high plank position, like push-up position or regular push-up would be here. Close grip would be just a little bit more in. Okay, and so we keep the elbows tucked to the body. Okay, so close grip is one variation. We can also do what's called a diamond push-up. So with that, you kind of place your hands like this, and it just hits the triceps a little bit different. So you can do these elevated again, just like with the close grip. I like to kind of rep them out. I don't like to come up and try to lock the arms out at the top. You don't ever want to forcefully lock out the elbows. When we say lock out, we mean close that joint or extend the elbow without cranking and putting all the tension in that elbow joint itself. So,
hey, Aaron.
What's up, Aaron? So, just keeping that kind of like concept in mind when you do any sort of push-up. So you can do diamond push-ups on the floor. You can kind of see how I'm just kind of pumping them out. That's my personal preferred way, like make your arms feel all jacked. So on that note, if we're talking about arms, everyone wants, more toned arms. Toning is essentially building muscle. It's just some people get scared by the word building. I promise y'all aren't going to build these huge arms, especially not right now in quarantine, but for the average woman who's watching, that's concerned about getting too big, hopefully I'm a example of, I'm 5'2", I weigh, I think probably, 130 to 135, somewhere in there. But I mean, I lift heavy weights, not like I don't lift as heavy as I used to, but for me to try to bulk up would be very, very difficult. Even though I have genetics on my side, you've got to force feed yourself. It's it's a whole other level. So
just,
the idea of building,
forget that.
Whatever, I promise you're not. So let's go back to what I was talking about. So, okay, the whole point that got me there was that if we're talking about building the arms, most people assume that the biceps is the what you really need to focus on, but what they don't know or don't realize is that the triceps actually takes up more of the overall size of the arm or the upper arm. So if you're like focusing on biceps and really neglecting the triceps, you're doing yourself a disservice there. So showed a few push-ups. So we got close grip, we got diamond. Since most of y'all might have some sort of weighted implement at home, follow me. Let's mosey this way. We can go through any sort of basic dumbbell exercise. So if you don't have dumbbells at home, y'all could use soup cans, which I've actually used with people in their houses way back in the day. You've got varying sizes.
What about like a big shampoo bottle?
That would be a good idea. Yeah,
maybe like a liter.
Yeah. You know, you can safely hold it and it's not going to slip out of your hand. So, I mean, get creative. Like, if you're doing like, you know, we got a basic triceps kickback, which anyone that's ever done like an aerobics class has probably done a crap ton of these. So essentially what we're doing is taking the arm, so we're working against gravity and hammering up. I'm already cramping up. So with these, the main thing is that you're keeping the elbow, you can do them one at a time or whatever, but you're keeping your elbow tucked to your body. We're not flaring out. We're not dropping down this way either. You want to try to keep your upper arm parallel to the floor and go back, because
it's just like hinging.
Here, that's not doing anything. Like that's not doing anything. So you want to be able to press up against gravity. So yeah, triceps kickbacks are old school but effective. We're isolating, you know, we're hitting more isolation type movements with single joint exercises like this one. Like with a push-up, you're also working your pecs and your shoulder, like anterior delt, and your upper back. But with like kickbacks, it's more of just focusing on that triceps grip. So kickbacks are great. We could also do an overhead tricep extension. So if you have two dumbbells that are lighter, or a soup can or whatnot, so we can go, I suggest setting the feet up in a staggered stance rather than just feet beneath the hips, because it's easier to want to arch your low back when you're in this stance. So if you stagger, it's an asymmetrical stance. It kind of neutralizes the pelvis, and it can help you brace better and yada, yada, yada. But what we're doing here is dropping down just about a 90 degree at the elbow. You don't have to come all the way down here. So look, the deal here too is that if you put this excessive stretch across this elbow joint, it's not a good thing. Like you're just asking for tendonitis. And trust me, back when I was a bodybuilder, I had tendonitis everywhere. So just about 90 degrees. So my abs are on, I'm not flaring open here, my butt's tight, and then we're just pressing up. So you're keeping your elbows in towards your head. You'll notice that on pretty much any exercise that we're talking where we're trying to emphasize the triceps, you don't want to flare out. Like you won't feel it as much here.
Yeah, like
when you
tuck
them
them.
in,
Yeah.
you'll feel them. So you can hold two small dumbbells or whatever. You can hold one dumbbell, you know, or you can even hold the ends of it and go that route. Okay, so that's an overhead extension. That's real simple. We do a lot of tricep, just dumbbell extensions on the ground in here or a bench. So what I like to do is if I have the option of having us do these on a bench or the ground, I like to do two things. So basic exercise, and again, 90 degrees, hammer up. Okay, so you'll notice like the dumbbells are coming next to my head. So again, y'all could use whatever weighted thing you have at your disposal. You could also go with a dumbbell and go here.
Yeah, if you just have like one heavy one, maybe people could do that.
Right. So my upper arm, upper arm is perpendicular to the ground, and I'm not flaring out. So 90 degrees and then hammer up. So that's the basic movement, which is great. That right there. If you want to jazz it up a little bit, you can either add like a bridge hold, where we're getting some glutes.
Oh yeah.
So
why not?
We're multitasking in a good way. Or you could do feet up, kind of in a dead bug starting position, where that's making it a little bit more core, okay? Because you're having to kind of contend with wanting to be rolling around on the ground. So those are a few options for the tricep extension that we actually use in here, regardless of if it's having to make do with whatever. Those of you that have a barbell, you can do skull crushers. Okay, that's similar movement than to this guy, but with a bar. hence the name. You don't want to bash yourself in the skull.
Right.
So that's a good one. Let's see.
What about?
Bands?
Oh yeah,
What were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say dips.
Okay, yes, that was on the list. Thank you. Okay, so look, if we're doing dips, let's use Lindsay's little box.
Oh,
This is the
Lindsay.
box. It's not her box, but she uses it every day to do her breathing.
I know.
She comes in here.
I miss
So
Lindsay.
your box misses you if you're watching. If we're gonna do a triceps dip, you can use a bench or a bed or a chair or whatever. Just make sure that it's stable, and then it's going to support your body weight and all that important stuff. So, main thing, so on these,
Hey, Jennifer.
what's up? So you keep in mind that like we want to try to keep the hands roughly shoulder width apart. We don't want to go wide. This is an exercise where if you have any shoulder issues, I would be a little bit, it wouldn't be one that I would recommend for you. And for anyone doing these, you've got to really watch going down too far, because you can dip this shoulder into a shitty position, which I'll show.
Yeah,
And
so
you'll
don't
know, like,
don't
if
get
you're doing
crazy.
that, do what?
Yeah.
Don't get crazy. But it's like, you'll feel that it doesn't feel right. Okay, so we're just going to show it this box. So if I'm kind of sitting on my hands and then walk my butt forward, that gets me in the right position. So again, to be a broken record, I guess, 90-degree elbows, and don't flare the elbows out.
Tuck them.
Okay,
Tuck
so
them.
Tuck them. Keep them tight and tucked. So if you got your knees bent, so essentially you don't want to be way out here.
Right.
You want to be just right in front of whatever the bench or box or whatnot. And then you're just going to drop down and press up. Okay, so if I went down too far, you can see how that just looks bad.
Yeah.
It feels bad. And it's just dumping me, we're dumping that shoulder forward, which is not a good position at all. It's a very unstable position for the shoulder. But then also too, all it does is like I'm just feeling my upper traps.
Yeah.
And it just feels bad. So knees bent would be the first, I guess, level 1 way of doing this. And then if you extend your legs out, that's going to make it a little harder. So a transition could be you could have one leg out, one leg bent.
Oh.
Okay, and then progress to both legs bent. And then from there, I mean, if you really want to get crazy, put your kid in your lap, put your dog in your lap.
Yeah.
Because normally we would load,
Yeah.
like we would use weight plates.
Just make
back
sure
in the
it's a
day.
stable surface.
Yeah, you can load that movement with weight. So make sure it's stable exactly. So yes, dips are a great, I mean, because it's just body weight. So if you've got bands at home, what we can do, so I don't have a band, so this would be the best. This is Margaret's band.
Oh.
I hook it up for her.
Margaret.
So if you've got a band at home that looks kind of like this, not, you know, a handle on each side, just a long piece of rubber tubing. What you can do with this dude is, even though it has handles on it, you could drape it over, you know, a doorway or something like that. A lot of you might have the ones that have the little door, similar to these, have a little door anchor on them, which are really handy, which these are made to shut in a door and not be pulled out, or of course anchor onto someone and loop it through. But yeah. So if you've got just a regular 2-handle band, what we can do here is we can MacGyver it by slipping it through like that. So tree branch, you know, if your kids have a swing set in the backyard, whatever. So you can see how that is going to make it stable. And then from there, what you can do, even better if you have 2 bands of that type, you could do some burnout type work. So that's one way to anchor it. You're going to only be able to work one arm at a time though, but that's fine. So you actually grab the band where you need it, because you can adjust the resistance better. So from here we could do like a 1-arm push down. Okay, so 90 degrees.
Yeah,
at
and
the
your elbow's really close to your body.
Yeah. And then just press them down that way. We could also step it forward and do, you know, you could use the handle. Tricep extensions. So if I were to do these 1 arm, which we typically I used to do a lot more like straight up tricep and body part training back when I was a bodybuilder. So I don't really do a lot of it now. But like back in the day, I used to like doing one arm, like cable extensions. And I would take my other hand and like kind of hold this arm here, which is cool because it kind of keeps you stable. But I did it more so to like have this contact with my hand to feel the muscle working.
Mm-hmm.
So 90 degrees and then press it. So that's a really convenient, easy way to do those. What you could do is get crazy and like set up like a pre-exhaust kind of situation where you might do a burnout set of like the tricep like push downs or extensions.
Oh
High
yeah.
reps, and then do a set of like kickbacks or whatever, and that'll work really well if you don't have a lot of heavy weight to use.
Yeah.
Or you could flip it. What was I talking? I guess the towel thing I was talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
last week.
yeah.
You could do your loaded movements, so like your kickbacks or whatever, traditional, and then burn it out. We do that in here a lot. So like sets of like 20 to 30. You're not going to hurt yourself doing band stuff. It's very, very safe. And then also too, like, because without getting too nerdy about it, with the band movement, the resistance is you're contending with resistance when you contract the muscle. So the resistance is increasing here as you contract the muscle, but there's no resistance on the way back up. So there's no eccentric loading, basically, for those of y'all that talk the lingo. There's no eccentric loading, so it's less stress on the body. So you can do band work every day, and of course, like I talked about pull aparts and stuff like that last week. So the same thing goes for the triceps stuff.
So you could really do this every day.
You could, yeah.
With the bands.
Yeah.
If you just wanted to do band work and then rotate your weight stuff, whatever.
You could totally, like you could have a little circuit where some pull aparts, some tricep push downs, you could curl, you could rig a lateral raise. Yeah, and it's just more of like a pump, like you're getting blood flowing, and you know, without again getting too nerdy about it. When you contract muscles and get that action happening, things are like, it's like a what's the thing, a pump jack back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the train car that had the dues with the little but you're pumping stuff through your body, which is important for circulation, you know, getting the lymphatic system working, all these good things. So, you know, just getting a little bit of concentric work.
Yeah.
Never hurt anybody with that, with the bands. So, what do you think? Is that enough triceps? Any questions?
No.
I can show my little thing that I rigged up in here the other day.
Oh yeah, just for fun?
Just for fun.
Yeah, you should.
Because like, I can't do ring dips. I would love to be able to. So instead of doing a ring dip, and I was too lazy to undo the straps on my rings right here, but I rigged a kind of situation where you can theoretically. So with a ring dip, we'd be kind of here. So you could simulate that, but I made Shan do them.
They suck.
So you can see how it's similar to that box dip.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to dump down too much here and lose that shoulder position. But yeah, those were a good ones.
You know what would be kind of fun?
What?
To see, like, to have people post all their at-home, like, rigged stuff.
I love that. That would actually be a blast. Like, and I can give pointers on rigging things because again, like I train people in their houses for
Like,
years.
safely,
Safely,
rigging
of
stuff,
course,
but
I mean, I've got
yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with very little. Trust
Yes.
me. So that's a great idea. So if y'all need, you know, some tips and stuff or help, just holler at me.
Oh, Ferg, hi.
What's up, Fergie?
Yeah.
I miss you. Sad.
I know.
So, okay. Do you think you need to
Okay.
press up other stuff? Wrap it up pretty well? I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, as always, thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
We're going to send you off with a little Bobo action. He's got his pig ear that he's been chewing on for weeks. He's assuming the position. Aww. He wants everyone to know that he walked 3.5 miles yesterday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday we did Highland Road Park, so he had hills. He was done.
A little hill training.
We did a 1.2 mile walk later yesterday, and he was over it. He was
He
tired.
stopped in the middle of the street.
He was done.
Oh.
Okay.
Bobo. So do your band work, everybody.
Everybody stay fit during the craziness. Keep your mind right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.